guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And the Express newspaper is reporting that Liverpool are willing to meet Borussia Dortmund's £100 million asking price for Jude Bellingham. And in this video we will dive into all the details, and also Liverpool are in talks to extend the contract of Joe Gomez. They are increasing his workload and his minutes season by season gradually, because Joe Gomez suffered an even bigger and worse injury than Virgil van Dijk. That's why Liverpool are very careful with Joe Gomez, and they try to increase his workload, season by season, very gradually and very carefully, so Joe Gomez can become fully fit and less injury prone than he was, because he already suffered 2 or 3 very serious injuries, career-threatening injuries. So we will talk about that later. But the Express newspaper is reporting that Jude Bellingham is already set to be at the center of the 2023 Liverpool's summer transfer window's biggest battle. And for Liverpool, I think it's absolutely vital that Liverpool bring in one of the most exciting young talents in world football. And Jude Bellingham has already hinted that he had Steven Gerrard as his role model. Jordan Henderson is his current role model in the England setup, and he also liked many of the tweets and Instagram posts when Liverpool unveil a new signing. So I think behind the scenes Liverpool and Jude Bellingham already have some kind of agreement with his agent that if he becomes available on the market, Liverpool will be the first in line. So if you are excited about this news, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss the latest Liverpool transfer news updates. And Jurgen Klopp's recruitment strategy recently has shifted towards signing, of course, the big talented young players, which has always been at the forefront of Liverpool's transfer strategy. But I think now it's vital, because Liverpool already have a very big core of experienced players: Thiago, Henderson, James Milner, Virgil van Dijk, Joel Matip, Alisson, even Andy Robertson is now an experienced player. But now, and of course Mo Salah and Bobby Firmino as well. So the Liverpool signing Diogo Jota, Konate, Harvey Elliott, Luis Diaz, Fabio Carvalho, Darwin Núñez, Calvin Ramsey, they are already looking to build the next generation of Liverpool stars, and Jude Bellingham could be, I think, the perfect fit to fit into this transfer strategy, because he's still only 19 years old. But Dortmund don't really want to lose one of their other star players after selling Haaland to Dortmund. They didn't really, to Man City, they didn't really have a chance in that, because Haaland had a release clause. But they have a chance, they have a say of whether to sell Bellingham this summer or not, because Bellingham doesn't have a release clause, and he also has a contract for another like 3 or 4 years. And yes, Liverpool are leading the way when it comes to Jude Bellingham. The report claims that Real Madrid, Chelsea and Manchester United are big fans of Bellingham. Real Madrid just signed Tchouaméni for 100 million, so I don't think they are after another midfielder. Chelsea could certainly do with a midfielder, but they lost so many defenders. Christensen signed for Barcelona, Rudiger signed for Real Madrid, Azpilicueta is leaving, and maybe others as well. So Chelsea definitely want to sign a centre-back, and they also just loaned Lukaku back to Inter. What a daylight robbery that is from Inter Milan, selling Lukaku to Chelsea for 100 million, and just 1 year later they loan him back for just 8 million. Absolutely rinsed Chelsea there, Inter Milan. Well played, Inter. Well played, man. And Chelsea are definitely looking to sign a striker. They might want to get Lautaro Martinez or somebody of that caliber. So I'm not so sure if Chelsea has the money right now to sign Bellingham. And according to the newspaper, The Express, Dortmund's asking price won't scare Liverpool off, because Bellingham is he has such a high ceiling, he has such an immense talent. He could become one of the best players in the world. He's already one of the best midfielders in the Bundesliga, and certainly he has the potential to become a world-class player. Dortmund are under little pressure, if not for Bellingham, but I don't think he's the type of player to stop going to training, to throw his toys out of the frame, if you like, and to just cause a massive fuss in order for him to force a move. So I think Liverpool might have to wait until next summer to pursue Bellingham. The La Gazzetta dello Sport newspaper is saying that Liverpool are determined to sign Bellingham to please Jurgen Klopp. The 19-year-old midfielder has all the qualities, running, insertion, verticality, that are much liked by the German manager. The teenage sensation is one of the most complete midfielders around, and he has been fantastic for Borussia Dortmund. He directly contributed to 20 goals in all competitions. And former Scotland manager Alex McLeish admitted that he wouldn't be too surprised if Liverpool signed another midfielder, and I agree with him. He said, "Nothing surprises me with Liverpool anymore. They are very organized in their recruitment. With Luis Diaz, nobody heard anything until it was basically done and he signed the next day. Liverpool conduct their business pretty well. They must feel they have the resources there, where it is up front or in midfield, to keep going. Sadio Mane has gone to Bayern Munich. It's an end of an era. We will see if anything happens. But what Liverpool are good at is when you think nothing is happening at Anfield, bang, something happens. We don't know about it. That seems to be the policy. If they start the season without another signing, then I think you then have to see what happens in January. But I think since that Virgil van Dijk to Liverpool transfer saga and the way it leaked out into the press and the way Southampton actually almost sued Liverpool, they reported Liverpool to the Premier League, Liverpool got a big fine. Since then they really closed the ranks, and only the very close to Liverpool journalists get some inside scoop, and also of course the journalists in the country of the player that Liverpool want to sign, they usually know some inside information as well, but certainly the leaks, the extensive leaks have stopped. And Paul Gorst, who is now working for the Liverpool Echo, said this on Liverpool's chances of signing Jude Bellingham. It would be interesting to see if Liverpool are forced into decisive action in the way Tottenham's interest in Luis Diaz did, but for now I think it's one that is on the back burner. But if somebody, an English club for example, like Chelsea or Man United, they approached Bellingham, then Liverpool will have to act, and act quickly, because I think Bellingham is a long-term target for Liverpool. For the last 2 or 3 years we are huge fans of him, and Liverpool certainly would do everything in their powers to sign Bellingham, because we just can't let him go to Chelsea or Manchester United, because Liverpool for the future, they see their midfield with Jude Bellingham in it for the next 10 years probably. And Jose Enrique, the former Liverpool left back, said that he's 100% sure that Bellingham wants to be a Liverpool player. The problem will always be the transfer fee, salary, and the Bellingham wanted to come and play for us. I'm 100% sure about it, but the transfer fee is going to be a problem if the numbers are the ones that they are talking about, which is £100 million. But Liverpool certainly are in a very good place financially. We sold quite a lot of players, and we are in the process of selling some other players as well. So we already recouped most of the Darwin Núñez transfer fee, and Liverpool can still spend another 60-70 million net spend this summer. So if we can sell another 2 or 3 players for 30-40 million, we can certainly come up with the money to sign Jude Bellingham. And the Athletic's James Spears has claimed that Liverpool are in discussion with Jude Bellingham and his representatives regarding a potential transfer. The journalist mentioned that Bellingham's relationship with Jordan Henderson is key to getting a deal done, because they have a very close relationship, and also Bellingham has many times said that he admires Jordan Henderson, and also growing up Steven Gerrard was his idol and he modeled his game after Steven Gerrard, so I'm sure growing up Bellingham was a huge Liverpool fan. Of course he wouldn't come out and admit that publicly, because until you sign for Liverpool you could go to another Premier League club in theory, and Bellingham doesn't want to upset clubs of Man United or Chelsea. I mean, if Bellingham came out and he said he's a huge Liverpool fan, then Man United fans wouldn't want him, and he wouldn't want that avenue just completely slammed shut, because you never know which club would sign you in the end. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne growing up was a huge Liverpool fan, and he ended up going to Liverpool's now big rival, title rival, Manchester City, so you never know how these things work out. And The Athletic also wrote that there will be serious competition for Bellingham's signature. Real Madrid, Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool are all in the race, and in Germany the reports say that it would take around 103 million pounds to sign him. Bellingham doesn't have a release clause, he has 3 years left on his contract. Liverpool will certainly be in the conversation, and it helps that Bellingham has a good relationship with the captain Jordan Henderson from their time together with England. I don't think that he would scare Liverpool off, as you are talking about a player who could be at the heart of Liverpool's midfield for a decade or even more. However, the wage demands could be a potential stumbling block. But I don't think Bellingham is not the kind of player who is money above all else, who wants like the biggest wage when he comes to Liverpool, and I'm sure he knows that if he comes to Liverpool and if he plays well, he gets in the side, he plays regularly, the wage rises will come. Liverpool will update his contract as the years go by, and we will just give him, even after 1 year, we could give him a bigger contract with bigger wages, so he shouldn't worry about his starting wage, because that will always be increasing when he signs for Liverpool. And also some English newspapers are reporting that Neco Williams has agreed personal terms with Nottingham Forest as he prepares to bring his Liverpool career to an end, but Nottingham Forest also need to agree a transfer fee with Liverpool, and that remains to be seen whether that will be the case, because Liverpool want around 15 million for the Wales international, and Wales qualified for the World Cup for the first time in 64 years. I'm actually very excited to see Wales at the World Cup because they have such a great underdog story, and they also were at the semi-finals of Euro 2016, I think, so that is going to be very, very interesting how Neco Williams does as the first choice right back at the World Cup for Wales. And I think Liverpool should loan him out for another season, but if Nottingham Forest comes up with 15 million, there is no harm selling him really. And also Sky Sports News are reporting that Liverpool are in talks over a new contract with Joe Gomez. Jurgen Klopp looks to try and keep him among the interest of other Premier League clubs. Gomez currently deal still has 2 years left to run, but Sky Sports has been told it is a top priority for new sporting director Julian Ward to get Joe Gomez on a new contract. Klopp and his coaching staff consider Gomez to be England's best centre-back, and even though he has struggled for game time since recovering from a serious injury 2 years ago, he's still very much part of Jurgen Klopp's plans, and I'm very happy to hear that, because I didn't want to lose Joe Gomez for absolutely nothing. And also finally, I wish Divock Origi a lot of goals and good luck at AC Milan. He was unveiled and officially announced yesterday. Origi is an AC Milan player. Good luck to him. He's a Liverpool legend, and hopefully he can become a legend at AC Milan as well. And that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.